Now, I'll admit, when people said Firmino is the best false nine in the world, I said you're smoking crack. I said these are all these flipping Liverpool um, club merchants who believe that every one of their players are amazing. Like how Liverpool are trying to force down my throat that Alexander-Arnold is the best right back in the world, which is a pile of total utter crap. Semedo is the best right back in the world. And if Carvajal actually wants to care about football, Carvajal is the best right back in the world. So, but that's to one side. But for Firmino, I have been looking at him closely, past few games and so forth. And you know what? This dude is very good. And I'll be real with you. For the role that he plays, the false nine, the striker that brings in other players into the game, the ball playing striker, the guy who creates, threads through balls, controls the ball, back to goal, turns, uses the ball, and has that kind of creativity as the striker, the creative striker that creates for others. I'm not sure there's any other person that does Firmino's role better that I can think of. Obviously, you can argue that if Messi now wants to play the false nine role, no one is touching Messi. Because if Messi plays false nine, there's probably never been there's never been a greater false nine than Messi. Never been. But Messi doesn't play the false nine. When Messi plays false nine, nobody is touching him. No one's touching him. But Messi is much more. He plays deeper and is much more of the creator. So my thing is this: let's rate the dude. We know how the ratings work. Unranked, tier 3, upper tier 3, tier 2, upper tier 2. This dude ain't sniffing tier 1, so let's just chill. In my view, I'll start things off. For now, based on form, he is probably, I'd say, upper tier 3. Upper tier 3 is what I'll put him in. He's upper tier 3, borderline tier 2. Upper tier 3, borderline tier 2. He's right close to tier 2. The dude who said upper tier 2 is smoking crack. The dude who said tier 1 is smoking flipping glue. So don't you even go there. Are you sick? Do you know who's in tier 1? Are you mad? What the hell? So, let's start with Abdullahi. So, Abdullahi, first of all, how important would you say Firmino is to Liverpool? And where would you rank him?
Wow, Roberto Firmino is a very important player for Liverpool. We know it's very important. It's the click. I think it's the click between Sadio Mane and Mo Salah because we know very well if Firmino play very well, Mane and Salah always click very well. But if Firmino doesn't play, if Origi play, they don't usually click like when Firmino click. We need to watch when we watch Liverpool. Let's watch them together play. Those three, Roberto Firmino, Mo Salah, and Sadio Mane, when they click together, we know how dangerous they can be, how deadly
Bro,
they
tear the
can be.
guy, tear the guy. What's here,
Uh,
man?
I will give Firmino. Let me say tier 3. Let me say tier 3.
Ooh, tier 3.
Yeah. Yep. Let me say
So,
tier 3.
okay, so why aren't you giving him upper tier 3 or even tier 2? What
Uh,
is he missing for tier 2 or upper tier 3?
I'll give him tier 3 right now because he has improved a lot. Since he has been at Liverpool, he's been an improved player a lot. So for me, giving him tier 3, I just like let me see, just kind of rank him tier 3 for now. Just for now, let's see how the season pans out. Then we'll see how good he is then. But for now, let me just give him tier 3.
Okay, all right. So Christ, how good is Firmino? How important is he to Liverpool? And what rank do you give him?
I just have a question. What are your rankings? Top 10 is tier 1, top 2, top 20 is tier 6, man? Or
No, so basically it goes. So basically, so going up in ascending order: unranked, tier 3, upper tier 3, tier 2, upper tier 2, tier 1, and chief status, which is reserved for when Messi decides to ball.
okay. So Liverpool is obviously really important because he provides the creativity for Sadio and Mane to score the goals. I mean, for Sadio Mane and Mo Salah to score. He also does the defensive work. Like he defends a lot and he presses. His work rate is exceptional, and when you need them, so I would say for me he's the best. He's one one of the players that I would take at Liverpool because I really rate him. He gets you the job done, and he doesn't complain too much either.
So
Like he
okay,
just does. I rate him highly, man.
what's rank? So what's rank are you giving him?
Tier 2, man.
Tier 2. All right. So look,
Yes.
your bro, Christ. People are saying in the live chat that your mic needs to be inducted, man. Your mic needs to be inducted. Your mic needs to improve, man. Your mic is sounding a bit trash, so you need to fix your mic up. But for those who heard him through his Class B brick mic, I believe he said tier 2. Bro, you have to fix your mic, man, or else it's not going to really happen. Hazem, how good is Firmino? How important to see? And what do you rank him? Hazem. All right. Juvenile. Oh, sorry, not hardcore. Milcore. Firmino, how good is he? Where do you rank him?
HH Hazem is speaking. I think he's muted off the live.
Oh, okay. Oh, so sorry. So okay, your Hazem start again. You were muted by mistake. So Hazem starts again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, bro. Firmino is a very, very good player, and I appreciate him for what he does. Helps, Salah and Mane as well. And but in terms of the best, when you say he's the best false nine in the world, I don't think there's any other top team playing with a false nine right now.
That's a
So
great.
we
That's,
can't
that's
really
a great point. That's a very fair point. That's a great point.
Yeah, we can't really compare him to anyone. So I really wish there was someone to compare him to. But he's such a unique player right now. It's that's what's crazy about him. That there's no teams have kind of moved on from the idea of playing a false nine. Yet Liverpool are still using it, and he's still thriving in it. So it's really crazy. It's underrated, and he's one of the players. Usually I use stats as a basis for rating a player, but he's one of the players where you can't fully use stats because his movement, it's not only his assist and his passing, it's his movement is what creates so much space, and the way he moves creates a lot of space for Salah and Mane, and you have to really appreciate that. So for this particular type of player, and because of how unique he is, I'm not going to use stats for the argument. And I'm gonna put him in tier 2 because I really think he's a very important player and was crucial even in the Champions League last season. Even if he wasn't that visible, he was crucial in there.
Do you think that he has a chance of getting into upper tier 2?
I mean, for him to get into upper tier 2, I think it's not possible if he's playing with Salah and Mane because he's never gonna get that opportunity to be the star of the team. He's always going to be because his role is basically providing for them and making them the stars. So unless he changes teams or changes his role, I don't think he can ever get a higher level because he's always going to just be that guy who is extremely talented but is using his talent to create for others and make others better rather than make himself a star.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
All right. Hardcore. Firmino, how good is he and where would you rank him currently 2019?
I think he's probably tier 3.
Damn.
Yeah.
So why tier 3 and not upper tier 3, or why not tier 2?
I mean, it's just straight out simple. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I actually think he's a better false nine player than Laessi, actually. And
Milko. No, Milko.
It's facts. It is facts.
Milko, you can't come out with such complete trash.
He was a better player.
Wait, why say that? Why say that?
Oh
why?
my god.
Okay, so last season, right? I have a question, okay? Last season, right? Sorry, I'm closing my mouth. I'm coming. I said last season, right? Last season, who had a better season overall? Firmino or Laessi?
What? Messi, of course.
Clearly Messi.
Milko,
Come on.
if you're trying to push a kind of thought that you're trying to tell me that Firmino had a better season than Messi, are you out of your flipping mind? Are you sick? Wait, Milko, are you trolling or are you being serious? Wait, no, look. Either you're
How
trolling,
many
you're being serious, or you're still heartbroken over
Oh my
how
god.
happened with,
how
with
many big
Barcelona.
games? How many big games did Firmino perform in last season? He performed in much more bigger games than Laessi did last season, and it's facts. It's facts. What
Oh
big
my
game
god.
except for Camp Nou games?
Milky, you're talking trash, bro. I'm sorry. No, okay, look. Just tell me, where do you rank Firmino? Because I can't. Nah,
Oh my
I can't. I
The
can't.
Ballon d'Or then.
Just where do
It's
you
true.
rank this dude?
I rank him at tier 3 to be honest. I
So
think
what tier
he's
is
not
Messi?
tier 2 or tier 1 just because like there's other players that are out there that are tier 2 and tier 1 and he's not even like a star player. I think he's more of like he's kind of like a side piece. You get what I'm trying to say? Like how you call Griezmann basically. So I won't put
Yeah,
him
I
as
mean, no,
tier 1.
he can't be a side piece if if Mane and Salah heavily rely upon him because he's the supply for both Mane and Salah. So he
Yeah,
can't really be
that's
a
what I'm
side piece.
saying.
It's
He's a
pretty crucial,
supplier.
bro.
He's a supplier. Yeah, he's a supplier. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
Sorry.
all right. It supplies not say side piece, but here we go. Red, Firmino, thoughts? How important is he? Where do you rank him?
I think I agree with you. He's borderline tier 2 to mid tier 2. And the reason why I'll say that is because for me personally, to be tier 1, you have to.
Hello?
Red, where you at? Okay, I think we've lost Red, but we'll try and get him.
Consistently performing. Like for example, let's say Mane, Salah. Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just lost you for a few seconds.
Hey, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh.
Are you underwater, bro?
Yo,
Borderline tier 2 to.
Red. Yeah, Red. I think
Red,
we're
we
losing
can
you.
hear you, Red.
Okay.
can hear you.
Let's go to serial winner. Serial winner. I think Red is on a holiday, man. So I think he's just doing his hotel thing. Serial winner. Firmino. How important is he to Liverpool? Where do you rank him in the world? Give him a ranking.
Yeah, so Firmino is obviously a very, very good player. There's not too many pure false nines playing out there, like Hazem said, so it's hard to compare him. But of course, he's an extremely important player to Liverpool. Thing is, you can't just look at his stats because, again, since he plays in a false nine role, he's not a pure striker. He doesn't just score goals, so he has the worst goal scoring numbers in that front three alongside Mane and Salah. But that doesn't mean that he's a less important player. He's still very important. At Hoffenheim, before he came to Liverpool, he used to play as an attacking midfielder, and then he just evolved into a false nine. So he was never that pure striker. And he does a lot of hard work off the ball. And I don't know if you remember, but in the Copa America final against who was it, Peru?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but the second goal, he made a crucial assist because he ran back, he tackled the Peruvian player who was going on a counterattack.
Yeah.
He took the ball, passed it to Jesus, who scored. So that was a very, very important piece of work that exemplifies what he does.
So where would you rank it then? Tier 3, upper tier 3, tier 2, upper tier 2?
I would put him in tier 2.
Tier 2? So,
Yeah.
So do you think he could ever make upper tier 2 then?
I don't think so because I think the level he's at right now is his level. So I don't see him like drastically improving in the future.
Okay. Walsh, Firmino, talk.
Yeah, easily tier 2, borderline upper tier 2. The reason why he doesn't get to that ranking is because a lot of the times people base it off of goals, and Klopp's system clearly has Mane and Salah being the main goal scorers and Firmino dropping deeper as a false nine and creating spaces and passing lanes for them, which he does brilliantly. And his first touch and control and his ability to link up with them is the main reason why they're so successful. And he links them up incredibly well. So from Firmino's perspective, for him to get into upper tier 2, I think, at least in the perception of a lot of people in this community, he's going to have to score more. But that won't be the case because when you have Mane and Salah scoring, it takes away from his production there. But he's arguably, I'm saying this arguably, he's arguably their most important player from the perspective that they don't function quite as well without him. Even in the first 15, I believe before Origi got injured, they weren't functioning that well. And then Firmino came in and Newcastle, and he was brilliant. So, I mean, just I'd have to say tier 2 to upper tier 2. And can he get to tier 1 one day? Probably not. He'd have to go into a different team and leave, and he'd have to take more of the mantle, more responsibility from a goal scoring and playmaking perspective. But I think he's tier 2 to upper tier 2, easily, actually.
Cool.
And arguably one of the best number 9s in the Premier League. But
well, he's not really a classic number 9. I think if one of the best.
And by the way, the notion that there's nobody close to Messi from a false 9 perspective. I don't know what Milko is thinking. It's delusional.
No.
But
he's smoking crack.
The closest thing you can say in the last 3 to 4 years. So
basically,
can you had a better season than Laes last season.
Okay, Milko, shut the hell up. Thank you. You've told us. So
can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Red, we can hear you. Okay, Red, hit it.
Yeah, I agree with what Sean pretty much said. Like, I think he's tier 2 to upper tier 2, and the problem with
can you speak louder a little bit? We can't hear you very well.
Yeah.
Can you speak louder a little bit?
Yeah. Red, speak a bit louder. Talk.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that like the only with
Hello.
it's not about goals.
Red, we can't hear you very well. Can you speak louder?
Okay, wait, Red. Let's move on to the next topic and then we'll come in because I think just try and fix your mic or get your mic a bit louder or just get to a louder room so we can hear you. All right, so basically, look, Firmino, my thoughts on it is that, look, I believe that he's borderline tier 2. If he was tier 2, I wouldn't argue with that. He's never sniffing up a tier 2. That's never happening. I think tier 2 is the highest level he can go to. And maybe get into borderline upper tier 2. That's a high he can go to.
So why though? What's your reason?
Beyond that, look, that's just my view. But I just think, it's tier 2. I wouldn't be able to argue with that because I think he is very, very, very crucial to Liverpool. And I just think what he does for that attack and how he brings guys in, there are very few places in the world that can do what this guy does, man.